Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is 11th of August. It is Sunday. It is Shravana Masa or Shridhara Masa, Shukla Paksham and Saptami Tithi. So there are no Vaishnava events today in the calendar. We shall quickly move into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Lord Brahma speaking to Narada Muni, after glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, saying that no one can understand the Lord's glories, they are innumerable, immeasurable, and by his illusory energy, everyone are bewildered. So, what and all we can do? Just offer our obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead for all his expansions and glorify his expansions and his pastimes. So, yasyavatara karmani gayanti hasmadadayah nayam vidanti tatvena tasmai bhagavate namaha. So, tatvatah, it is very difficult to understand, but of course, devotees can understand. So, we can just only offer our obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, likewise, yesterday he was speaking, and today he is saying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he expands himself in the every millennium. In every millennium, so by his plenary portion as Mahavishnu, so he expands and he creates and maintains and he annihilates by his internal potency. Likewise, he is saying he is speaking about the Lord's activities as a Karmadak Sai Vishnu. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 6, and verse number 39. स एष आद्यः पुरुषः कल्पे कल्पे सृजति अजहम् आत्मा आत्मनि आत्मना आत्मानं स संयच्यति पाति च स एष आद्यः पुरुषः. That very supreme personality of Godhead, Adyaha Purushaha. And Adyaha Purushaha. Here Purushaha, so the translation for the Adyaha is the original personality of Godhead, and Purushaha, the Mahavishnu incarnation as a plenary portion of Govinda, Lord Krishna. So that is about the Karnadakasai Vishnu. Sayesh Adyaha Purushaha Kalpe Kalpe Sujati Ajaha Kalpe Kalpe. In each and every millennium, Srijati Ajaha, and he creates, though he is the unborn, Kalpe Kalpe Srijit Ajaha, even though he is the unborn, and in each and every millennium, he creates, Srijati Atma Atmani Atmana Atmanam, Atma Atmani. So, self upon the self. So, that is by his internal potency. he creates himself. Sambhavami Atmavai, like that. Atmana Atmanam, by oneself, by his own self. And also Atmanam is the own self. Um, Sa samyachiti paticha, samyachiti here, annihilates or absorbs and maintains. Paticha is maintains. So srujati, samyachiti, paticha. So these are the three things: creates, annihilates, and maintains by the Adyaha Purushaha. And how? Atmani, Atma Atmani, Atmana Atmanam. So these are a little bit, it is not directly, we shall see the translation. So Sayesh Adyaha Purushaha Kalpe Kalpe Srijatyajaha Atma Atmani Atmana Atmanam Sa Samyachiti Paticha. So translation for this verse. That supreme original personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, expanding his plenary portion as Mahavishnu, the first incarnation, creates this manifested cosmos, but he is unborn. The creation, however, takes place in him, and the material substance and manifestations are all himself. He maintains them for some time and absorbs them into himself again. So all the creations are exist within the Lord Himself. And purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So can I request devotees? I think the two devotees need at least up till until this point, and one devotee, and then further is another devotee. Please, can I request Hare Krishna? Volunteers, please. Prakriti Mataji, would you like to read purport? Saranya Mataji, would you like to read? Sure, Mataji.
Yes, tutor. So,
Yes.
student.
Okay.
So, student, तमके तो मानना तम हो गई. ये मैं तो किधर?
Shall I read, Prabhu?
तमके तो हो मने interest.
I can get my glasses. Sorry, Prabhu.
Sure, Mataji, kindly read.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhu. I was reading my glasses.
Sure, Mataji.
The creation is non different from the Lord, and still He is not in the creation. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita 9.4 as follows: Maya tattvam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matah sani sarva bhutani na chaham te avastitaha. The impersonal conception of the absolute truth is also a form of the Lord called Avyakta Murti. Murti means form, but because his impersonal feature is inexplicable to our limited senses, he is the Avyakta Murti, form. And in that inexplicable form of the Lord, the whole creation is resting. Or in other words, the whole creation is the Lord Himself, and the creation is also non-different from Him. But simultaneously, He is the original personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is aloof from the created manifestation. The impersonalist gives stress to the impersonal form of feature of the Lord and does not believe in the original personality of Lord. But the Vaishnavas accept the original form of the Lord Lord of whom the impersonal form is merely one of the features. The impersonal and personal conception of the Lord are existing simultaneously, and this fact is clearly described both in the Bhagavad Gita and in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and also in other Vedic scriptures. Inconceivable to human intelligence, the idea must simply be accepted on the authority of the scriptures, and it can only be practically realized by the progress of devotional service unto the Lord, and never by mental speculation or inductive logic. The impersonalists depend more or less on inductive logic, and therefore they always remain in darkness about the original personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Their conception of Krishna is not clear. Although everything is clearly mentioned in all the Vedic scripture, a poor fund of knowledge cannot compare, comprehend the existence of an original personal form of the Lord when he is expanded in everything. This imperfect, un, imperfectness is due more or less to the material conception that the substance distributed widely in parts can no longer exist in the original form. The original personality of Godhead, Adya, Govinda, expands himself as the Maha Vishnu incarnation and rests in the uh, causal ocean, which he himself creates. The Brahma Samhita 5.47 confirms this as follows.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Can
Thank you,
you
brother.
Meena Mataji to read further, please?
The original personality of Godhead.
This shloka as well.
Lord Brahma.
Shloka Mataji, would you like to recite?
The sloka?
Shloka.
Yeah. Yah karna karanam. Sorry, I can't.
Okay. Yah
Yoga.
karana vile
Yah
bhakma yoga
bhajan nityam ananta jagat ananta sarvam kalpaha. Nityam ananta jagat ananta
avalambya param murtim
adara param swamurtim Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Lord Brahmaji says in the Brahma Samhita, I worship the primeval Lord Govinda who lies down the causal oxen in his plenary portion and Mahavishnu with all the universe's generation from the force of hair on his transcendental body and who accept the mystic slumber of eternity. So this Mahavishnu is the first incarnation in the creation, and from him all the and universal are generated, and all material manifestations are produced one after other. The causal ocean is created by the Lord as the Mahatattva, as a cloud in the spiritual sky, and is only a part of his different manifestations, the spiritual skies and expansions of his personal rays, and he is Mahatattva cloud also. He lies down and generated the universe by his breathing and again by entering entering and again by entering into each universe as Garbhodaksai Vishnu. He created Brahma, Shiva, and many other demigods for maintenance of the universe, and again absorbed the and again
Mataji, we can't
the
hear you.
whole things into his conform the whole thing into his person as Sarva Bhuta into each universe and Garbhodaksai Vishnu for many maintenance of and again absorb the whole things into his person as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.7. Sarva Bhutanam Sarva Bhutanam Paritam Yanta Mama Sarva Bhutanam Konteya Parik 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 Paritam
Prakritim
the
Yamikam.
Mamatam Kalpa Kshaya Punastani Kalpa the Vaisnaj Visvaj Aham. O son of Kunti, when the Kalpa or the duration of the life is of Brahma ended, they
We can't hear you, Mataji. Okay, so
the consciousness is their energy. Sorry. The conclusion. Sorry. The conclusion is that there are all but display of the Lord the conclusion is that these are all but display of the Lord in incomparable personal energies of which no one can have any full information. This point we have already discussed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so here in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining. So here Brahma is saying that in the first incarnation, first expansion of Krishna, Mahavishnu is the from his bodily pore, so many universes are coming, and that is the starting point as a Purusha. Somewhere or other, he is creating this cosmos in contact with the material nature. Karnadaksai Vishnu, Garbhodaksai Vishnu, and Kshivadaksai Vishnu, the three Purusha incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sayeshadhyaha Purushaha Kalpe Kalpe Sujityaha Atma Atmani Atmana Atmanam Sasamyachiti Paticha. So Prabhupada here explaining about the whenever Krishna, he creates everything and at the same time he is aloof, he is outside of these universal creations. Maya tadam idam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina. I creates this universe and at the same time in the avyakta murtina. And matstani sarva bhutani and everything matstani, they depend on Krishna. Matstani, sarva bhutani, all the living entities. But nacha aham teshu avasthitam, but I am not existing in this creation. Of course, I am not one of these. So that is Krishna's statement from the Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada further explains this. The Lord is also Avyakta Murti. So he has got the absolute truth. Impersonal conception of the absolute truth is also the form of the Lord called Avyakta Murti. That is, Vyakta Murti is Krishna and Avyakta Murti is the the impersonal conception, that is Brahma Jyoti. And Murti means form, but because his impersonal feature is inexplicable to our limited senses, he is the Avyakta Murti. And the whole creation is resting on the Brahma Jyoti. And so Brahma Jyoti is resting on Lord himself. So, and the creation is also not different from him, but simultaneously, he, as a supreme personality of original supreme personality of God, Shri Krishna, is aloof from the created manifestation. He is outside of it. That's what Krishna says. Nacha aham teshu avastitam. Nacha aham, I am not out of these creations. And then further, Prabhupada is explaining about, but the Vaishnavas accept the original form of the Lord, of whom impersonal form is merely one of the features. So here, for everything coming from a person, if we have got if I am a person, then I will have a house, I have got wife and children, mother, father, relatives, everyone, and the land. So, but land, I cannot say that land is because I maintain this land. It is also because I'm here, the land is clearly maintained and trimming, grassing, and keeping all the flowers and everything. It is depending on me. Mm. But some people say that the land is there because he is also depending on the land. So some kind of mutual existence comes into this material world. But in the spiritual absolute, Krishna, there is no difference between um, the Krishna's spiritual world and material world. Everything is rest in Krishna. So Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. So as Vaishnavas, we take Krishna as the basis. Brahmano hi pratistaham. So even the impersonal Brahman light is depending on Krishna only. So that is impersonal and personal conceptions of the Lord are existing simultaneously. And this is explained in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is inconceivable to the human intelligence. This is Achincha Bheda Abheda Tattva. And this idea must simply be accepted on the authority of the scriptures and can be practically realized by the progress of devotional service onto the Lord, and never by mental speculation and inductive logic. So this statement is straightforward. We do not use our mind to think and understand from using our little brain. So one has to accept directly from the scriptures, accept it on the authority of the scriptures. And then it can only be practically realized by the process of devotional service. Devotional service, freeing oneself from the sinful activities and karma and all the contamination. So like the pure spirit soul, how it is existing, he says the material body and senses as separate to him. He is the pure soul. He is nothing to do with the senses, the body, or this material world. But due to the nature, rebellious nature, or the dominating nature on the material world, he has the desire. Because of the desire, he has appeared here. But still, he is always free. One who understands that truth, he will be freed from this material world. And the impersonalists depend more or less on the inductive logic, and therefore they always remain in the darkness about the personality of Godhead Krishna. So here they wanted to derive something using their speculative knowledge. But the scriptures they clearly say that Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Sachidananda Vigraha Adir Govindaha Sarvakarana Karanam. But here, impersonalists, they depend more or less on the inductive logic. Inductive logic is derive something. So, and therefore, they always remain in the darkness because they use their intelligence. That's why they always remain in the darkness. So, but Vaishnavas, we accept the scriptures as they are. If scripture says that Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, we accept as it is. It's a simple mind. We do not derive anything through mental speculations. This is Santa Evasa Chintanti Manu Vyasanga Muktibihi. Krishna says, the God He Himself, the Supreme Personality God He Himself is saying, we cannot deny the person who is speaking. When the sound is coming, a person is speaking there. And we cannot say that there is no person but sound is coming. That is a logicless. So likewise, all the Vedas coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavad Gita came from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is a person speaking. So we have to acknowledge that person. Okay, so and then their conception of Krishna is not clear, although everything is clearly mentioned in all the Vedic scriptures. A poor fund of knowledge cannot comprehend the existence of an original personal form of the Lord. When He is expanded in everything, so that is, they cannot comprehend this existence of an original personal form of the Lord. And this imperfectness is due to more or less to the material conception that a substance distributed widely in the parts can no longer exist in the original form. So this is also impersonal thing. But actually, the Lord is the complete all. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Avashishyate. That is, Lord is complete. Even though He creates, expands as 16,108 Krishnas to live with His wives in 16,108 palaces, still He is complete. And every Krishna is complete. Deepat, Deepat, Deepachate Dasantaramabhyapecha, Deepayate Vyurutahetu Samana Dharma. He expands. How many expansions He expands? Everything has the same potency as the original. And the original personality of Godhead here, Adyaha Govinda, expands himself as the Mahavishnu incarnation and rests in the causal ocean. This is causal ocean, which he himself creates. Yah Karnanavajale Bajisma Yoga Nidramananta Jagadanda Saromakupaha. Romakupaha, Sa Romakupaha. From his bodily, the pores, wherever there are hair is and the body, and then next to the hair, there are small pores, sweating pores. And from there, all the universes are coming. This is Nidramananta Jagadanda Saroma Kupaha. Adhara Shaktim Avalambya Param Sumutim. For that Supreme, for that Karnodak Sai Vishnu, what is the Adhara Shaktim? Avalambya Param Sumutim. That is Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna is the basis for Mahavishnu as well. Avalambya Param Sumutim. And the following verse is Yasyeka Nisvisita Kala Matavalambhya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanadaha Vishnur Mahan Saiha Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Vishnur Mahan Saisya Kala Vishesho, that is one expansion, Kala Vishesho. That is Brahma is saying in the Brahma Samhita. So that Karnadak Sai Vishnu is the Kala Vishesho. And then further, Prabhupada is explaining that is Mahavishnu is the source of all the material manifestations, and he lies in the causal ocean. And by the spiritual sky is expansion of his personal rays and the Mahatattva cloud as well. This is Nahyantaram Bhagavatiha Samasta Kukshau Atmanamatmani Nabho Nabasiva Deraha. So from the Lord, everything is in the same nature. The spiritual skies, and he is the Mahatattva also. And he lies down and generates universes by breathing and again entering into each universe as the Garbhodak. He enters into Garbhodak Sai Vishnu. Yasyamba Sasayanasya Yoga Nidram Vitanavataha Nabi Hradam Budad Asit Brahma Visvasujampatihi. He comes from the lotus, which is emanated from the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu in each and every universe. And then he creates Yo Aham Cha Girishascha Vibhu Swayam Cha Sthiti Uddhava Pralaya Hetu Atma Moolam, and he creates Brahma and Shiva, and he expands himself as the Kshirodak Sai Vishnu. For Sthiti Uddhava Pralaya Hetava Atma Moolam, and he is the Tasmai Namo Bhagavate Bhonadhrumaya. He is the root of this whole universe. And then this is a सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकं कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्. Oh, son of Kunti, so I create this sarvabhutani, all the living entities. He says the duration of life of Brahma is ended, and then all created manifestations enter into my Prakriti. Prakritim yanti mamikam, and this Prakriti enters into Krishna and enter into Prakriti, my Prakriti. So here in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, it is very clearly explained in a detailed way. So Krishna, and then he expands as a Narayana and Lord Shankara and Brahma and everyone else. And all the Narayana forms, 400 forms, and also Gopis, Gopas, everything, and creation, Radharani, like all the, and then Narayana with 400 forms, they all go to the Vaikuntha planets. And then Lord Shankara, he lives in the Kailasa. And then Gopis and Gopas, they all live in the Goloka, in their original place where they were belong to. So, and the time is calculated, and then further in such a way, time is calculated for Brahma's lifespan and how long a Brahma can live, and that is kind of a blink of the Supreme Personality of Godhead when he just blinks his eyes. And likewise, the Lord has got another 100 years, that Narayana, and that is his duration of time. 100 years after that, Narayana, and similarly, the Lord Shankara, similarly, the Moola Prakriti, Radharani, and her spiritual expansions. So, Moola Prakriti, Narayana, Lord Shankara, along with their all Parshvadas. So, after the 100 years of that Moola Prakriti, they all enter into the Krishna's personal body in the Golok Vrindavan. And then Krishna take a nap on the in between in the Rasa Mandala on his very nice bed, cozy bed, which is between the Shridhashringa mountains and the Girija river. So that is a the Lord takes the nap at the time. All the Narayana forms, all the Lord Shankara forms, and Moola Prakriti forms. But at the time, just only three personalities: Moola Prakriti, that is Radharani, and Narayana, and the Lord Shankara. And everyone are no one else, not even the Mrityu Devata. So everyone are they submerged into this person. And finally, only Krishna remains. Only Krishna remains. And he lies on the in between the Virja river and the Shadashunga mountain on the in the Rasa Mandala. So that is also depth and the dimensions have been given, but Goloka remains as it is. Goloka remains as it is. That is where Krishna lives. Okay, so and then here Krishna is saying that the duration of O son of Kunti, when the kalpa, the duration of the life of Brahma, is ended, then all the created manifestations enter into my Prakriti or energy, and again, when I desire, the same creation takes place by personal energy, by my personal energy. The conclusion is that these are all but the displays of the Lord's inconceivable personal energies, of which no one can have any full information. This point we have already discussed. So here in this material world, some people say I am Vaishnava, some people say I am Saivite, some people say I am Saktites, I worship Durga. So many people, there are different categories of people. So, but here, the Vaishnavas, they directly take the shelter of the personality of Godhead and different conceptions. So that's why they derive more pleasure. They're always pure and their character is purest. Their life is the simplest, goal is the highest. That is the Krishna consciousness devotee. But no one can understand the Lord fully. Okay, that Brahma he himself admits that. Tamna jagatcham yata atma sambhavaha. I do not understand yet fully. And what to speak of everyone else. Naham nayuyam yaditam gatividur navamadevah kimuta paresuraha tanmaya mohita buddhesvidam vinirmitam chatmasamum vichakshmahe. Okay, so that is likewise, Prabhupada is explaining here. And this is Brahma is saying, Sayeshadhyaha Purushaha Kalpe Kalpe Srijityajaha Atma Atmani Atmana Atmanam Sa Samyachiti Paticha. Sa Samyachiti Paticha. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Mukunda, March 24th, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request any voluntary devotees to read this letter, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, may I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Krishna. My dear Mukunda, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 17th March 1970 with enclosure, and it is very satisfying that you have introduced Sankirtana Party procession in the public streets and park on the occasion of Lord Chaitanya's birthday. It is a good addition to my missionary activities, and I thank you very much. In the London streets, introduction of Ratha Yatra procession, as well as Lord Chaitanya's birthday ceremony procession, and in the most important party of the city, a Radha Krishna temple. All these things are great achievement of your London Yatra party, and personally, I feel a great credit for me because by such activities, my Guru Maharaj is certainly very pleased upon us. So, whatever progress we are making by the grace of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, we must stick to them and make further progress. I am enclosing here with two pictures of our new church buildings, which we are going to purchase at the cost of $225,000 down payment and $50,000 $225,000 down payment of $50,000. The whole debit has to be cleared off by 12 years. So the management here has taken a great burden upon themselves. And similarly, I am awaiting the days when London Yatra Party headed by you will have a similar achievement in London. What happened to that application you submitted for the old Oxford Church? I think these Christian people do not like our advancement in the preaching work. Never mind. We shall depend upon Krishna and march on progressively. I have received word that English citizens can fly to Australia as immigrants and the cost is only $20 per person. So under the circumstances, you can send some brahmacharis to help out our new center in Sydney. This will be the best because the British government will bear the expense for their transportation. Also, you can help them out by sending them the paper of ISKCON Limited from London so they can immediately incorporate as a Commonwealth branch. The Sydney address is as follows: ISKCON Temple, 26 Horden's Place, Ports Point, NSW 22011. Regarding the manjiras, I am surprised that the custom duty is 10%. I do not know what does it mean. The whole consignment is worth L50 and they want to impose the similar amount as custom duty. In India, although our country is advertised to be the poor, the custom duty is not more than 30% on such articles. I think there is some misinformation about this consignment. Please inquire scrutinizingly. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hi. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, as always, Prabhupada wanted to preach and wanted to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. So Prabhupada was very happy that the Sankirtan party procession is going on in the public streets on Lord Chaitanya's birthday. So the epic temple and Rath Yatra, all this is considered as a big achievement by Srila Prabhupada. And a good thing is like the Prabhupada never takes any credit. Prabhupada always says like, this is a service I am rendering to my spiritual master, and everything done by my spiritual master through my disciples. I'm just an agent, like everything is done by my disciple under the mercy of my spiritual master. So Prabhupada never mentioned any word that this is all done by me. Even though Prabhupada took a lot of sacrifices to make this institution, Prabhupada never says it is made by me. Prabhupada always give that credit to the spiritual master. So an example. Prabhupada sets how a disciple should act and how a disciple should think. Everything is possible by spiritual masters and Krishna's mercy only. We are just act as an instrument in their hands. Nothing is possible through our talent or our knowledge or anything. It's all completely purely mercy only can make a difference. So and Prabhupada again, Prabhupada is mentioned like a huge amount that these devotees are trying to purchase a big church for the service of Krishna. Even though the payment is for 12 years, they are taking the burden to please Srila Prabhupada and to please Krishna. So it is their selfless service and their determination in the Srila Prabhupada's service. And Prabhupada wanted to preach it more, and of course the Christian community or the other community won't be that much happy if something like these happening. So there may be some obstacles, but Prabhupada says like we shall completely depend on Krishna and march on progressively. Krishna will take care of everything else. And at that time there was some rules like for $20 we can British person can travel to Australia. So Prabhupada was using that opportunity to send some brahmacharis over there to preach there, to expand the movement there. So it's like very practical, and whenever an opportunity comes, just grab it and utilize it for the service of Krishna. Never wait for anything. So it's a matter of getting updated about the things and utilize it for the Krishna service. Just very practical things. And Prabhupada was also mentioning about some transportation of some mancheries and the custom charges 100%. So Prabhupada was inquiring why it's that. Just inquire about it scrutinizingly. It seems like there's a wrong information, so just check it and do it. So like that Prabhupada was mentioning. So it's all about Prabhupada. Always Prabhupada's mood is to preach. So here in this letter also Prabhupada is emphasizing the preaching program, Prabhu. So that is my takeaway, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Or okay, so this is our Krishna consciousness movement. So every bit of our effort is to spread Krishna consciousness. So that is Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay, so as Bhagavad Gita states. Okay, and that is from Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, I think this coming Tuesday, we haven't got any speaker yet. I'll try to find devotees and I will let you know. And I don't have any further updates, dear devotees. If you have got any other updates on Krishna consciousness, any events, or you wanted to share any news, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, so if there are no further news, no updates, then we shall move on to the next program. Ramayana. Okay, so thank you so much. So in the Ramayana, we have been discussing about the Lord Ramachandra's departure to the forest. So we have completed the first part, betrayed, and then with the seventh, Ram agrees to depart. So this part where we have completed is still when Lord Ramachandra he received the news that he needs to go to the forest. He was still in complete composure. His mind is always steady, but there are many people are disturbed, so he doesn't want to others disturbed by him making himself disturbed. So likewise, this is the last paragraph we finished in the last session. Hearing from a distance the piteous wail, Dasharatha shrank with shame and hid his head beneath the silken sheets on his couch. Rama went towards Kaushalya's room. He carefully maintained his composure, although he felt agonized at seeing the suffering of his relatives. As he approached the outer entrance of Kaushalya's apartment, he saw many doorkeepers seated and standing there. They quickly flocked around Rama, uttering blessings on the young prince. At the middle entrance, Rama was greeted by elderly Brahmins who were constantly reciting Vedic hymns. Bowing low before them, Rama entered and came to the inner door where he was led into Kaushalya's chamber by her personal maidservant. Now Lord Ramchandra is with his mother Kaushalya. Okay, so this is where we have ended. So now the chapter 8, it is the grief and the fury. So we shall read again. So each devotee read a page of or 3 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs. Can I request? And Jagrita Mataji, would you like to read if you like? Otherwise, Usha Mataji, would you like to read Mataji? 4
Yes,
paragraphs.
Prabhu, yes. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Grief and fury. Kaushalya had spent the night in undisturbed prayer and penances on behalf of her son. She was unaware of his meeting with the king and Kaikeyi. Rama found her seated before the sacrificial fire, surrounded by Brahmins making offering to Vishnu. She was clad in white silk and although fatigued by fasting, she still appeared most beautiful. Upon seeing Rama bowing at her feet, she rose up joyfully to embrace and bless him. May you attain the age and fame of the virtuous royal sages who have gone before you in our line. Sit with me a little and take breakfast. Then go to your father, the ever truthful monarch. For today, he will install you as the prince regent. Kaushalya offered Rama a bejeweled seat next to her, but he merely touched it in respect and said, "O good lady, surely you do not know that a great calamity has now arrived. What I am going to tell you will cause you unprecedented pain, even as it will my beloved wife Sita. I am about to leave for the forest. Therefore, have I? What need have I of this fine seat? The time has arrived for me to occupy a mat made of forest grasses. Indeed, in accord with a promise already made to my father, I shall inhabit a lonely forest region living on fruits and roots. How then can I partake of this royal fare you offer? The emperor will install Bharata as prince regent and has exiled me to the forest to live like a hermit for 14 years. Kaushalya at once fell down like a tree severed at its root, her mind confused. She lay on the floor like a goddess fallen from heaven. Rama quickly lifted her, gently stroking her face with his hand. Kaushalya slowly regained her senses. Struck with her agony, she looked at Rama, who was controlling his own grief. She knew beyond doubt that her son could not possibly have spoken falsely, nor was he given to flippancy or jest. His words were certainly true, and they pierced her heart. Clasping Rama's hand in hers, she spoke in a choked voice. For a long time I suffered the terrible pain of being childless. Oh, beloved son, surely the feeling of being without issue is a grief that consumes a barren woman. Before your birth, every effort your father made to please me was uh, fertile. O Raghava, for I long only for a child. Your birth ended that pain, but now I fear that an even greater suffering has arrived.
Would you continue, Mataji?
Yes, brother. Kaushalya could not bear the thought of separation from Rama. She held him tightly as he spoke. Separation from you will send my heart in two. That pain will be compounded by the cruel words of a junior wife. What could uh, what could be more painful for a woman? Unending grief and lamentation has become my lot. Even with you by my side, I have been despised. What then will be my fate that when you are gone? Oh dear child, surely I shall soon die. Kaushalya thought how she had always been neglected by her husband in favor of Kaikeyi. With Bharata enthroned, she would be entirely abandoned. For 27 years, she had watched Rama grow to manhood, awaiting the day when he would assume the throne and end her rule. Uh, how could she any longer suffer Kaikeyi's scorn? Now Rama, her only solace, was living. It seemed her prayers were all in vain. Her fast and meditations were useless. What was the value of all her self-discipline and scared away observances? Rather than becoming the king, her son was being cast away. Kaushalya commanded herself. Surely my heart is hard like steel, for it does not settle upon hearing this terrible news. Death will not take one before the proper time, or else I should have certainly gone immediately to the court of Yamaraja, the great Lord of Death. If by one's own sweet will one could meet with death, then in your absence I would depart this very day. Without you, O Rama, life will be useless. Therefore, like a cow following its calf, I shall definitely go with you to the forest.
Great.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So here, this is Kaushalya's position. So she has been fasting throughout the night, performing the sacrifices, all for to invoke the auspiciousness to Lord Ramachandra for her son. So far she didn't know the news. Now Ramachandra entered into Kaushalya's room, and Kaushalya is taking Rama and showing the nice seat, which is the bejeweled. mm, it- all the coaches, they are very, very wonderfully decorated. Bejeweled seat next to her. But Rama, at the time, he reveals and also preparing her mind that I'm going to say unprecedented news. So the calamities, and then later on, he slowly reveals. So here, whenever some kind of bad news are relayed to others, we have to gently first to prepare them their mind that we are going to tell some news, but we should not say suddenly. So we need to prepare the mind as well. And then he says that truth that I have to go to the forest for 14 years. Immediately, Kaushalya, she fell to the floor. And see, that is mother. She cannot tolerate the son's um, unprecedented activities. So, and then, but still, Rama is controlling his own grief, and now he is consoling, trying to explain Kaushalya. So, but Kaushalya knows that Ramana doesn't say any false words. So, whatever he says, it is truth. So that's why she is feeling more pain. And then she's speaking about all her grief now. So, and Rama was born after so long. She didn't have children, and then they have performed Putrakameshri Yajna, and then uh, Ashwamedha Yajna. Then Rama was born to Kaushalya. Now again the separation. So that was a long grief, and now again separation from Ramchandra. So now she is thinking about it and also thinking her position. So now Dasharatha, on the account of Kaikeyi, he has neglected Kaushalya. Now she is thinking if Rama leaves, and Rama he himself is the only solace to Kaushalya. If Rama leaves, now she will be abandoned completely. Likewise, she is thinking. And on the other side, so that is one thing, and Kaushalya condemned herself, and she is thinking that my heart is hard like steel. I cannot live like Dasharatha. Kaushalya is also not able to bear. I'm going to die without you, O Rama. And then she is expressing her feelings to Ramchandra here. Oh Rama, life will be useless without you. Therefore, like a cow following its calf, I shall definitely go with you to the forest. So now Kaushalya is also preparing to go to the forest. Okay, so we shall continue. I shall read further. So, wailing in this way, Kaushalya contemplated the calamity about to befall her. Rama was duty bound to his father and would never oppose his order. He would certainly leave without delay. Unable to bear her suffering, Kaushalya collapsed, sobbing onto a couch. Lakshman stood nearby, writhing in pain. The situation was intolerable. How could Rama accept it? Why did he not do something? Unable to repress his tumultuous anger, Lakshmana spoke furiously to Kaushalya. I also find Rama's imminent departure to be unacceptable. O glorious lady, Rama should never relinquish the royal fortune for any cause. Perverted by the words of a woman, the king has lost his good sense. He is desirous of sensual enjoyments and has been overpowered by lust and senility. What will he not say, urged on by the sinful Kaikeyi? To desire the banishment of the powerful Rama is nothing short of madness. What vice or offense can be found in Rama? There is no man in this world, even if he be Rama's deadly enemy, who could find in him any fault, even in his absence. What man who respects virtue would forsake such a son who is equal to the gods, disciplined and kindly disposed even to his enemies? What son would heed such a command from a father who has abundant righteousness? Lakshmana's furious voice resounded around the chamber. If the king would not give Rama the kingdom, then it should be taken by force. He would stand by his brother with bow in hand, exhibiting his valor. Let anyone who dared try to prevent the installation of Rama, he would hold off the entire city of Ayodhya should they oppose Rama. Whoever supported Bharata would find himself slain by Lakshman. The situation called for strong action. Why should they accept it meekly? Lakshman tightly gripped the bow hanging from his shoulder and turned to his brother. If at Kaikeyi's instigation our father acts like an enemy, then he should be made captive or even killed without compunction. The scriptures make clear that even a father or a preceptor can be rejected if they lose their discrimination, failing to distinguish between right and wrong. On what authority has the king sought to confer the kingdom upon Kaikeyi's son, when it rightfully belonged to you, O Ramachandra? So here, Lakshmana is not speaking on his personal account. So according to the scriptures make clear that even a father or preceptor can be rejected if they lose their discrimination and failing to distinguish between right and wrong. It is according to the scriptures as well by the historical events. So Lakshmana is saying that. And here the Lakshmana mood is he doesn't want Rama to go to the forest. At any cost, Rama to become a prince regent. And he is condemning Dasharatha as well. So Lakshmana at this point, he doesn't know the mood of Dasharatha as well, how the Dasharatha is also lamenting. So, and here this is Lakshmana's love and affection towards Ramachandra. So, breathing hard, heavy sighs, Lakshman turned back to Kaushalya and assured her that Rama would be installed as king. He held up his bow. O godly lady, I swear my vow that I am truly devoted to Rama with the whole of my heart. If Rama enters into blazing fire or retires to the forest, know that I have already done the same. I shall dispel your sorrow by means of my arms, even as the sun dispels the morning mist. Let your royal highness, along with Rama, witness today my valor. I shall kill my aged and wretched father, who, as a result of senility, has entered his second childhood in Kaikeyi's association. Lakshman stood blazing like fire, yet Rama remained calm and composed. Kaushalya, weeping, spoke to her son, having heard your brother Lakshman, who has raised pertinent and proper arguments, consider now what ought to be done. You should not obey the unjust command of Kaikeyi, leaving me here to grieve. So this is after hearing Lakshmana's the commitment and the mood. Now Kaushalya is speaking to Ramachandra like this. So you should not obey the unjust command of Kaikeyi. So now Kaikeyi is suggesting Ramachandra. Now Rama is calm and composed. So one should not immediately get angry here. को क्रोधोद्भवः क्रोधोद्भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. Whenever one get anger, he will lose all his composure, and his intelligence doesn't work when he is in the angry mood. So at whatever the calamity, one has to maintain that calm and composed situation. Then only the mind works properly. So here and then Kaushalya knew Rama would act only according to moral laws. He would never be swayed by sentiment to deviate from scriptural codes. She called upon Rama as his mother. Dear son, do I not deserve the same obedience as you offer to the king? Is service to the mother not an even higher virtue than service to the father? I cannot allow you to leave, nor could I live in your absence. If you leave, I will take a vow to fast until death. You will then be guilty of killing your own mother. So now Ramchandra is taking the service of his father. Now she wanted to put that service to the mother is greater than the service to the father. That is right. And so such kind of things Kaushalya is putting in front of Ramachandra. So this is she wanted to use her position as a mother. But here on the account of her loving affection to Ramachandra. And then further, the queen cried piteously, trying again and again to convince Rama not to leave. Rama burned with anguish to hear his mother her express her feelings, but keeping his mind under control, he spoke to her in a gentle voice. I do not feel able to flout my father's command, and therefore I wish to enter the forest. The order of one's father is no less than the order of the Supreme Lord. It cannot be transgressed if one wishes to acquire virtue in this world. The king is not ordering me to do anything sinful. By obeying his command, I shall be following the path of morality, which has ever been followed by pious men. I only desire to do what is right, never otherwise. For as long as one does the bidding of his father, he is never overcome by evil. See, this is perfect. एतावती एव शुश्रूषा कार्या पितृपुत्रकैः बाणमिति अनुमन्येत गौरवेन गुरोर्वचः. So this is the Brahma's statement to Kadma Prajapati. One has to follow his father instructions obediently. Badamiti, yes sir, I will do it, just like a servant. There is no further discussion. As long as one does the bidding of his father, he is never overcome by evil. This is the scriptural injunctions. Father is like a supreme lord. So a father, a guru, and these are our representative, and the king. These are the representations of the supreme personality of Godhead. One has to hear the father, guru, and the king. So here Ramachandra is saying to Kaushalya those statements. And Kaushalya blessed Ramachandra in the beginning, before knowing the truth. You always be stick on to the moral codes, always be truth, follow the truth, and walking in the footsteps of your predecessors. Likewise, Kaushalya blessed. And then now, what else is there further? Rama turned towards Lakshman and admonished him. So saying that, "Oh Lakshman, I acknowledge your love towards me." And then saying that, admonished him, speaking in soft but firm tones. So, and again here, we have to balance the emotions of everyone in the situation. So, and here, because when someone is angry, if Rama says, Lakshmana, what you do not know anything, just be quiet, then immediately Lakshmana also be upset. So now Rama is speaking in such a way, speaking in soft but firm tones, saying that I know your unsurpassed love for me, as well as your strength of arms, which cannot be easily withstood. O noble prince, my gentle mother does not deeply understand the imports of morality and is thus experiencing great agony. My father's command is rooted in righteousness and is therefore worthy of being obeyed. Indeed, I have already given my word to honor his order. I cannot break my pledge, since I have been commanded by Kaikeyi according to my father's promise. O valiant prince, how can I knowing well the path of piety, neglect that command. Therefore, give up this unworthy thought of overthrowing the king. Stand firm on righteousness alone, and do not give way to anger and display of strength. Accept my resolution to follow the royal order. So this is the perfect statements. This is the behavior. The Rama is the personified dharma. All his nature, the speaking every word coming from Rama, it gives so much of lessons to us to control the anger, compose ourselves, and speak gently. Anudvegakaram vakyam, satyam, priya, hitam chayat. These are the words of a person in the pure goodness. And then further, Rama went before his mother and knelt down with folded hands. Bowing down his head low, he was as devoted to Kaushalya as he was to Dasharatha and did not want to leave without her consent. So again, he wanted to take the mother's permission. And Ramachandra again asked her permission to depart. Rama swore on his life that after the 14 years had passed, he would return and remain in Ayodhya as her devoted servant. So Rama is assuring Kaushalya here. And Ramachandra asked her not to yield to sorrow. In accord with the eternal laws of morality, she should serve the king. Yes, so a woman, she has to serve her husband throughout her life. That is the first prime duty. There is no second duty. Of course, second duty in the sense looking after everything else in the interest of the husband. And he also desired to follow the path of piety. For that reason, he was anxious to leave for the forest in compliance with his father's order. She should not try to prevent him. So this mentions that father is the authority in the home at any point of time. So one has to follow, wife has to follow the father's instruction, wife has to follow husband instructions, and also the son has to follow the father's instructions. So where the instructions are coming from? The person, the man. And then for the further hearing his request, Kaushalya felt impassioned. And how could her son abandon her in this way? Now she's thinking, so my son is always virtuous, but still he is determined to go to the forest. He is speaking everything according to scriptural injunctions and laws of morality. But here, one thing, Rama also understand what the pain I'm going to do, but still he is not giving that importance to me. Of course, he is giving, but she said that do not leave to the forest because the mother's instruction is greater than the father's. She also meant, and then she is thinking, how could her son abandon her in this way? She had always carefully observed her duty as a mother. She was always affectionate towards Rama. Surely Rama realized that she would die if he left her now. In a last attempt to change his mind, the queen spoke in spirited tones. As your mother, I do not grant you leave to depart. Am I not as venerable to you as your father? O Rama, I cannot face the thought of your leaving. In your absence, I care not for either life or death. What will be the value of life to me without you? O Ramachandra, whether it be in this world or in heaven, your presence for even an hour is more preferable to me than the possession of heaven and earth combined. So this is again Kaushalya's words. So she wanted Rama to be with her. So this is everyone was desiring. Rama here, Dasharatha was he wanted to die if he gets separated from Ramachandra. But still, that is his affection and love to Rama. And Kaushalya is showing the same mood, and Lakshmana is also showing the same mood. Here, this is the Rama. Ramante yogino anante satyanande chidatmani iti Ramapadena asau param brahma abhidiyate. This is Param Brahma. So everyone are attracted towards the Param Brahma. Here Ramachandra. So no one can say anything. Everyone are showing their affection, but the moods are different. They do not want to get separated. So what it means to us in our spiritual life, when we have got relation with Krishna, the Param Brahma, at any cost we have to maintain that relationship, that sambandha, and progress only in that spiritual part and attain the abhideya and prayojana. That spiritual path is the abhideya, attain the prayojana, ultimate, the benefit of the relationship with the Param Brahma. Iti Param Brahma abhideyate. That Rama is the Param Brahma, so no one can tolerate the separation from Ramachandra. So, as his mother wailed piteously, Rama only became all the more desirous to escape. So now this is Rama only became, he wanted to maintain his words, his promise to his father. Now, even as a lordly elephant would want to escape when surrounded by men, goading it with firebrands towards a trap. Fixed in his determination to do his duty, he replied, I feel that both you, my dear mother, and the powerful Lakshman have not properly understood my mind. Thus, both of you harass me most painfully. Happiness in this world is temporary and ultimately illusory. Only the foolish think themselves to be the body composed of material elements and thus seek sensual happiness. This body, along with its relations and all its sensual joys, exists for only a few moments. The real self is the eternal soul dwelling in the heart whose happiness lies only in the pursuit of a godly life. So this is the real self is the eternal soul dwelling in the heart. One has to derive the happiness from there, whose happiness lies only in the pursuit of a godly life. It is Atma Rama, self-satisfied, not depending on any other person for his personal happiness. Not even material objects, not the home, not the things, any material things, which is lifeless things, or any person outside of us. Of course, we respect everyone, including husband, family, everyone, but we derive happiness within our heart, self-satisfied. But that is for the happiness. This is Atma Rama. Atma Rama Shamaryo Nirdhanda Piburukrame Kurvante Kim Bhakti Mittam Bhota Guno Harihe. So such kind of people, they take to the Krishna Katha, to hear Krishna Katha. That happiness automatically comes in the heart. It sprouts. Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsaha Shokaha Moha Bhayapaha, and no more lamentation, no more fear, and no more illusion. And then both Kaushalya and Lakshman listened silently as Rama spoke eternal spiritual truths. And here Rama spoke from the scriptural injunctions, so where Lakshmana and Kaushalya can understand. He described how association of friends and relatives was exactly like the coming together of sticks floating in a river. This is true. We have got in our childhood our brothers and sisters and mother, father, and grandmother. We are living in one family. In due course of time, the daughters got married to other person. They leave the home, and son got married, and that another woman, they go to a different city for the work purpose, and then in due course of time, the grandparents or the old people, they leave their bodies, or so one after another. Likewise, the sticks floating in a river, they will come together and they are thrown together and very soon parted by the swift current of time. Therefore, one's happiness should never depend upon such ephemeral relationships. This is use and throw relationships. As long this is what is ephemeral relationship, use and throw. So the husband and wife, they come together for some part of time and they live together. For what purpose? To attain the perfection. So these statements by Kashyapa Prajapati speaks to Diti Maharani, saying that, "O Diti, a man can cross this material science with the help of a woman. With the help of a woman. So he is always indebted to his wife. Because so by his wife, he will control all his senses. Because sometimes we also see that if a man attached to a woman in a gruhamedi, then he will become a servant and he doesn't get into the spiritual life. But a person in the spiritual path, he doesn't get attached to the woman, but instead he carries out his duties under the presence of his wife. So these things, some people see in different way. Sometimes they fight each other. As soon as husband and wife come together, they fight each other. They don't like it, of course, for long time. But of course, they maintain the relationship as husband and wife, and they live together. But why they are doing? If they identify the spiritual reason there, their life is success. And Krishna's arrangement, that is Krishna's arrangement that wife and husband, they're always fighting each other, but still living together. That is the Vedic life. And on the other hand, though wife and husband, they're attached to each other, but for the service of the Lord, that is another side. And husband and wife are not liking each other and living together, that is also for the Krishna's arrangement, Krishna's service. And the why that happens, when one person is in the service of the Lord, Krishna wanted to give that opportunity quickly to one person. Such kind of things happens. Of course, other person is not neglected by Krishna. He will also, either wife or husband, they will also get the same opportunity in due course of time. So here, that's why one should give up all attachment for the body and fix the mind only upon the eternal Supreme Lord, whose order is represented by superiors such as the king. This would bring everlasting happiness. And then Rama concluded, "How then can I abandon the righteous path of following my father's command simply out of attachment for either the kingdom or my relatives?" So this is the truth. Now Rama is justifying all his uh, decision here. So he is now determined to go to the forest. And Rama reassured them that he was not at all disturbed to be leaving for the forest. He responded to the suggestion that Dasharatha was acting against the codes of morality. So here Rama is answering to Kaushalya and Lakshmana that Dasharatha was acting uh, in this moral, as per moral codes only, because he is bound by his promise to Kaikeyi. Now Rama is bound by his promise to his father. Everyone are on the moral duties. So now Rama is saying the king has adhered to virtue even at the cost of his own desires and happiness, suffering intense pain. So Rama acknowledged that he is prepared to abandon his beloved son for the sake of truthfulness. See, this is the truthfulness of Dasharatha. My dear mother, it is he who is always your shelter and means of happiness in both this and the other world. You should therefore remain by his side and serve him. Pray, grant me leave to go to the forest. I shall never accept the rulership of the earth through unrighteousness. So this is again Ramachandra's dharma. So anything one is getting in his life, it is through only righteousness, not otherwise. And Rama is determined for that one. So he wanted to follow the instructions of his father. It is a very beautiful journey. So understanding the mood of each and everyone. This is Dharma. Ramayana teaches many things practically. This is Rama Ayanam. Ayanam is the movements of Ramachandra. So by his actions, he personally is giving instructions to everyone how to live. Okay, so with that one, we shall stop here and we shall continue after that. I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to add anything, so kindly share or kindly raise your questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. The Rama and Seven Ram description is so beautiful. The Ram, her nature, and then how the way he's convinced the Kaushalya said, "This is my the father's order, so I have to follow." And then you don't have to lament it on that one. And how the way he softly tell what the Dasratha's decision when he came to Kaushalya's chamber. It's so nice, Prabhu. Like a heart melting when he spoke to Kausalya.
Yes.
So here this Ram's character is like telling us to how the way you can just there gonna be son only son be to follow the father instruction and what the father say.
Yes, that is the righteous path. And also every action, it shows the relationships with the Supreme Lord only here. Every word they're speaking, every action they're doing in attachment, in relationship to Rama, what it means to in our life. Of course, Rama, we may not personally see Ramchandra in our home, but what is our actions? What is the Rama? It is the pleasure potency of the Lord. He is always present with us. When we are engaging ourselves in the devotional service, we see Rama, the pleasure potency of the Lord. We feel in the heart the highest pleasure. We acknowledge that one. Many people share in some way or other. We have to protect that happiness all the time. We should not. It will always increase the love and relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all attractive personality of Godhead, Krishna. When we maintain that one, this happiness, it would increase. Ramante yo vino anante, that pleasure potency, it increases. Attachment to Rama is increases. We should not neglect at any point of time the happiness which is derived by engaging ourselves in the devotional service. We have to protect it at any cost. Everything else is temporary. Like the sticks floating in the water, they come together at once and they will separate one another. Like people also come together as friends, relatives, and then in different ways, relationship, but in due course of time, they are separated. So Ramachandra's example is perfectly fitting here for our lives. So we need to acknowledge the Rama, always hold on to the lotus feet of Rama. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji, for that. Okay, any other comments? Okay, so if there are no further comments or questions, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa.
So Prabhu, was a path of piety. What is the meaning of path of piety when we were reading some?
So piety is the pious activity.
Okay.
It is the
Yes.
pious activities are
Mm-hmm.
called piety.
So beautiful. Prabhu. So husband and wives like fighting and then do together. It's such a nice picture. They say sometimes it's go fighting going on, but then they're gonna be stay keeping the relationship.
Yes, yes. So generally we see each and
Yes,
Whatever the husband and wife it is, whatever the family, there is always a small fight somewhere or other in a different times.
yes. So misunderstanding and then it's fight also, but then yes, keeping the relationship.
Yes, it is natural. So man always thinks on the logical side, woman always thinks on the emotional side. They do not go on the same level. But many times man has to understand woman, woman has to acknowledge the man's heart.
Yes, brother.
Yeah. So that's why man is leading the home. So that's why woman has to simply follow, like if Rama is instructing Kaushalya that Dasharatha is always truth, mm, follows the righteousness. So you serve him. Likewise, he is saying, and also Rama also wanted to follow the instructions of Dasharatha. So that's why he is saying that. So, my dear mother, it is he who is always your shelter and means of happiness in both this and other world. So it doesn't matter. Woman is very, very intelligent, but man is less intelligent than a husband, wife. But still, woman has to follow the husband instructions. That will give uh, the happiness both in this and the other world. So you should therefore remain by his side and serve him. So one should
Mm.
not neglect her husband, saying that he is less intelligent like that. Woman has to serve her husband.
Yeah, and here the Lakshman is so but loving Rama so much, so he is just saying that this is not right. Right, Prabhu, that Lakshman, the love towards Ram,
Yes,
the brother, but he's not listening like the mother KK also. He said, oh, she's very the person that is, the Ram is a that there's a mother KK, and then Lakshman he said, why she's doing like that? But Ram have no like that. He said, whatever the mothers, it shouldn't be saying like that. That is the father decision and has to follow. So how could the father also say like that? To sending him in the forest.
yes. So that Ram Lakshmana statement. Uh, even enemies cannot find any fault within Ramchandra. Even enemies cannot find any fault with Ramchandra. When even Ravanasura fighting with Ramachandra, he could not find any fault with Rama. So that is what Lakshmana is mentioning. How come this Dasharatha is sending Ramachandra to the forest for 14 years by hearing from Kaikeyi, and then Lakshmana is prepared to kill Dasharatha as well because he is attached to Ramchandra. And he is thinking that whether he is speaking on the scriptural injunctions perspective. So thinking that Dasharatha has lost his intelligence and coming under the jurisdiction of Kaikeyi's instructions. But that is not the case. Here, Lakshman also did not understand completely. And that is, Rama is speaking to Lakshmana, saying that Lakshmana also did not understand me. So that is later on whenever Rama, even the Lakshmana was in that mode, very angry mode and very emotional mode and speaking all these things, he's prepared to kill even Dasharatha. And as soon as Rama spoke, and here Kaushalya and Lakshman, they listened silently. See, this is when a person speaks like Rama, so everyone becomes silent because they speak only the truth. which is practical and accepted by everyone. And so by speaking also that anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priya hitam chayat. So like speaking, it is not possible for ordinary people. One has to follow from the childhood or follow the per sarvaihi gunaihi tatra samasate suraha. यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवत्या किंचन सर्वैः सर्वैः गुणैः तत्र समासते सुराः. A person who is worshipping the supreme personality of Godhead, he will have all the godly qualities. He speak like that anudvekaram vakyam. Then everyone will listen carefully. So as we see our acharyas, their austerities and penances throughout their life, and then preaching commitment for Krishna, commitment to Krishna consciousness. That's why whenever they say some words, everyone listens without opposing anything. That is, here Kaushalya and Lakshmana listened silently as Rama spoke the eternal spiritual truths. Then everyone will become silent. Of course, everyone are speaking in their way relation to Krishna, dovetailing the relationship and attachment and love towards Ramachandra. Okay, so thank you so much, Mataji. Anything else?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. It's so nice to listen the Ramayana. Very nice.
Yes, Mataji. Again and again, if we read it, we are not satiated. And also when we're reading our feelings also going through different journeys, happiness, and then different Navarasa Bharitam. There are different rasas are there.
Yes.
So one has to go through all these things. Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, so keeping that love towards Ramachandra. If you're happy, Mataji, we shall conclude our.
Mm. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
that-
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Jagriti. Thank you,
yes.
Mataji. You wanted to add anything, Mataji? Jagriti, Mataji?
Sorry.
Would you like to say anything on Ramachandra and Ramayana?
Is Mataji said it, everything is concluding there. But yes, is Ramchandra is a very principle. Whatever is the father or mother said is just follow blindly, because he said is that's my principle, isn't it? He said is whatever his mom said it is, I have to do it.
Yes.
He no question.
Yeah. Whatever father says, he has to stick on to that one. So father
Yeah.
is
Sorry,
represent.
yeah, father said it, yeah.
Yeah, father is the representative of the supreme Godhead.
Mhm. But it's very good.
Yeah, and also he has to listen to the mother as well, but not into the father's instructions.
Mm.
Kausalya
Yeah,
mentioned.
even though KK then Danita said they said is still he not said anything. If he's in Kali Yuga, we will say something, isn't it? Even we're not suffering that much still. We can complain, but he never complained.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It is very nice to hear you, Mataji. Few words.
Yeah. I really like it, but it's sometimes what's happened because I'm not used to everyday join. That's a Sunday I forget. And I really want to join. That's why Usa Mataji encouraged me. She said, join.
Yes.
Thank you, Usa Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. This is very beautiful Ramayana.
Yeah, it's very nice. Then Prabhuji, we doing Ramayana now?
Mataji?
Now we doing Ramayana or the...
Yes, this is Ramayana. This is every two.
No, that's fine. Yeah, but I thought you're doing Srimad Bhagavatam, no?
Bhagavatam in the morning after Japa, we do one sloka of Bhagavatam and then one Prabhupada letter. And then Sunday, 1 week we read Ramayanam and 1 week shloka learning.
Okay,
Likewise, every 2 weeks we read Ramayanam.
okay, okay, yes. Prabhuji, when you have some extra time, I want to learn my Gita ji sloka as well.
Uh, so shlokas it comes automatically with the recitations that we do on Saturday before our Sangha. The first thing is
Mm,
we do the recitation. If you would like to recite Mataji,
mm,
you take on the Saturday recitation.
okay.
Are you happy with
Yeah,
that?
I like to do, yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it is the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, verses 24
But,
to 46.
sorry, verse,
For 24 to 46.
okay. I will do, but Prabhuji is slow, yeah.
Yeah, no worries, Mataji. So, but when
Maybe I take little bit time rather, that's why.
yes, um,
But I want to learn Prabhuji.
yes, you will learn
Mm,
much. As you are with the devotees, you will learn everything automatically. But the only thing is, you make yourself present with the devotees in the sessions we have got. Automatically keep hearing and hearing and hearing. You know, you
yeah.
all this familiarity with all the Sanskrit words and the verses, and then you will be able to recite very freely and with a free form.
That's what Mataji said to me as well. She said, if you hear it and when it's mute, you can read it as well together. That's how you can improve yourself.
Yes, Usha Mataji does very beautifully. She recites very nicely all the Sanskrit slokas.
Yes, she do very nicely.
It's all
No,
credit to you,
she said
Prabhu.
to me,
Thank
just
you,
I
Prabhu.
decide whilst they're doing it is when it's mute to practice it. But Usamataji is very nicely recite, very nicely.
Yes, all credit to you, Prabhu, also. It's just when we learn, if we don't understand, we just say it. So nice, Prabhu.
No, Usamataji,
Thank you,
you
Prabhu.
doing very well.
Thank you
Is
all about the
Usamataji,
Sangha,
I
right,
think,
Prabhu?
got the
It's a devotee association.
yeah, that's true as well. But is
Yeah,
Usamataji, you got God gift.
all
Yeah.
credit.
No, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, you're right, Mataji.
Yeah, yes, it's true. Is a devotee. If you're
Yeah,
doing
devotee
with the
association
devotee,
and
is the good.
Prabhu also. Every morning,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
definitely,
Yes,
Prabhu.
thank
Prabhu
you,
doing
Prabhu.
very nicely. That's why he can do class.
Yes. Yeah.
It's all
Thank you so much,
He
Prabhu, for your
explains so
time and
nicely.
yeah, yes. Thank you. You can say Hari Bol to Prabhu also, Jagrati. Let's say Hari Bol, Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
bol, Hari
Bol.
bol.
For you, all your service, Prabhu, you just you just have so much in that also. Always.
Encouraging everyone,
Yeah.
isn't it,
Yeah.
Prabhuji?
Thank you, Prabhu.
it's devotees, Mataji, you are all encouraging me. So it is all glories to you, all glories to devotees and Prabhupada. We are in the discipline section. All glories to our Guru and Acharyas. Guru and the Gaurav, Srila Prabhupada. We are just doing
And
give.
Prabhuji, you always respectful. You never said to anybody even though don't know or knows, you give everyone answer same, isn't it, Usamataji? I think
Yes,
she's
Prabhu.
l-
Yes, Mother. So on the spiritual platform, so everyone are on the same thing, same level. So no one is unintelligent, no one is intelligent. So everyone are spirit souls, children of Krishna. We need to talk each other, cooperate each other, help each other, hold hands together, and walk in the same path towards Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Mother.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol for a Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. So if you are happy, then we shall conclude and continue with the japa if any devotees like.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Vanchakarpatarubhyasya
Patarabhasya kripa sindhu bhayasya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Anand Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.